Does God exist? Somebody might give you an argument in favor of that claim, the claim that God exists. But that's not what C.S. Lewis is doing with the argument of desire. The argument from desire is the argument that it is reasonable to believe that God exists. Those are different claims. How do we get to the conclusion that it's reasonable to believe that God exists? Considering the argument from desire, we get the premise that innate desires have real targets. Innate desires have real targets. So for example, think of the gosling, the baby goose, or the duckling, the baby duck. These are born with a want, a desire, to go swimming. And isn't there something that exists which satisfies their desire to go swimming? Yeah, there is such thing as water. Think of the baby's desire for food. They are born wanting food. And there is such thing as food. These innate desires, the desires that we are born with, have an object in the world that could satisfy those desires. Every innate desire has a real target. The fact that it says real target means existing, meaning there is an actual possibility to have that desire satisfied. What do we mean by desire? We're talking about an inconsolable longing for something. An inconsolable longing for something that we're born with. And C.S. Lewis is saying that most people are born with and so have a natural experience of an inconsolable longing for something supernatural. Something that's not satisfiable by anything natural. So what's natural and what's supernatural? Everything on earth is natural. You are a creature of nature. Creatures are born with desires for the supernatural, something beyond this, something above all this, natural stuff. C.S. Lewis is saying that most people are born with a desire for the supernatural, and that the desire is not satisfied by anything natural. And because every innate desire has a real object which could satisfy it, the fact that we long for something supernatural tells us that we have a good reason to believe that something supernatural exists which could, it's possible, satisfy our otherwise inconsolable longing. So it's reasonable to believe that something supernatural exists. Something. Call it God. Call it the gods. Call it deities. Call it a higher power. Something supernatural